Acceleration has started. What does that mean? Yes, we have been progressing greatly, but there are things happening right now that are speeding up a few things that you need to know about. This is going to be critical for you. Why is it critical? Because what you experience depends on what I'm about to tell you. And you can change anything right now. All things are possible. All things are possible. Are you ready to find out why you must note the acceleration happening on this planet and take charge right now? Let's go. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an amazing life. Have you taken Breakthrough Fear, my course, 5 stars? Why is it popular? Because living with fear, it doesn't feel good. It's not our natural state of being. So today we're going to talk about what is happening with the planetary energetic shifts. Nothing stands alone. Everything is an accumulation and a combination of absolutely everything that's going on, because everything is one thing happening. Time and space, irrelevant, all created for us so that we could experience things that appear to be separate. All of the feelings, the thoughts, the actions are coming to a head right now. Now, this is the end of 2021, this video. We are nearing a very big shift. December 22nd marks an energetic shift. Now, what I want to share with you, and I'm going to have some videos about this, major things are happening on our planet. People that are stepping up to help us in our health, that doesn't include taking anything that is not natural to you. We're stepping up with not having to do things that everybody else tells us we should. We're stepping up with what we do for a living because we should love that and feel good about it. We're stepping up with everything we put into our bodies, on our bodies, in our homes, and saying, why was any of that ever allowed in the first place? And yet we live every day accepting that. What is wrong with us? We're programmed. And so if everybody does it and tells you that's how it should be, well, eventually you start to believe that, and we are waking up. What is accelerating right now? This is a major warning, and I don't even like that word. It's not a very positive word, but a warning to me is, you know, danger, Will Robinson. I sort of just told like my era, right? Okay. Yes, what does that mean? There is something coming and it is accelerating. It's actually here. You're going to see a bigger split happening. Now, I shared with you all 2021, I kept telling you, watch it. It's going to start happening, and it's going to be an accumulation. It's not always going to be just one big thing. It's a lot of things happening that are pushing the light to a more expansive space and the darkness to a more dense, confined space. Because it is an individual choice, you get to decide what you're going to do from here on out, because it's speeding up. Why? Because instead of everybody in here, and you know, we're spiritual, but we're working in careers that we hate. We go to church, but then we, you know, judge other people. This was all this neutral, dense negativity, you know, and then, you know, some light and what. Now we are going to extremes. People are waking up, going to light and saying, I can't put that in my body anymore. I can't judge another person anymore, no matter what I was taught or learned. Those people over there, they're not evil. They're part of one amazing thing, and the one doesn't make mistakes because that person is part of the one, the source also. How can I, as an individual human being that doesn't have the answers to the universe, criticize that? I don't have to know the meaning. I don't have to have all the answers. All I know is everything is purposeful. There is no chaos. Chaos is used by a lot of scientists, and there's no such thing as chaos. Everything is intelligent. Everything is intelligent. Beyond our imagination. Things that you look at that we think, oh, this is just, they're functioning, you know, molecules. Not true. Everything is hyper intelligent, including the space, especially the space that we don't see that separates the material world from one another. This is accelerating. So what's happening is more people coming out of this dense matrix programming. By the way, nothing wrong with the matrix. The matrix is a program that we can do anything we want with. We can create heaven on earth here, which we are hopefully going to do here if you choose it. How does that happen? We just behave as human beings in a program in a different way that allows us a different experience, and you can participate in that. So more people are going into that higher frequency within the matrix and saying, okay, I chose to be Bob or Susan or Landria, so I'm going to play this out because that's the program. But Landria or Bob or Susan can live in an amazing, loving, giving, compassionate world where there's no anxiety or worry, just challenges, but they're no longer a problem. They allow us diversity. They allow us contrast to know what we are. What's it like to be sad? What's it like to, worry about somebody because you love them in a material world that you think ends? It doesn't end. Whatever's happening in your life that you believe, you think, your actions, all are accelerating. Whatever you're putting out, you will start to see in your own reality as a reflection of those thoughts and beliefs and actions. Be careful with that. So if you are in individualism, separation, blame, then you will experience that in an accelerated level. Those will come back to you in your own personal life in different forms because it's the world that you're choosing to create. And if you choose, and you're totally in control of that, nobody's doing it to you. You're doing it, and it's coming back to you because that's the directive you're giving to the field, the quantum field. And it only gives you exactly what you tell it. So you can say all day long, I desire blah, blah, I want this, I blah, blah, blah. And if your thoughts are of anger, frustration, hate, I'm not as good, like you had advantages, I'm a victim. Somebody said they don't like the word victim. And I said, well, then you can use a different word. There are no rules. You're allowed to believe what you want to. You don't have to agree with me. I use the word victim because victim is a word that says something's happening to me and I somehow didn't choose it, or somehow don't have a choice. And that's never the case. And if you believe that, you will remain in that mode of thinking because you create what you think is your reality. You're going to create being a victim and continually have things happen to you that you believe are outside of your control. And so that's how I use the word victim. Now, how do we change that? Well, you have to work on it and study and practice every day and know that thought's creating. Thoughts are things. We've heard this over and over again. Ye are all gods. These things you shall do and more. I can go on and on and on with all these quotes from people that we go into the churches and pray and study and we don't believe what we've been told. It's just as easy to create a castle as a button. Why? The quantum field doesn't judge anything. So if you desire a castle, you can't just ask for it. You got to believe it, know it, live it. Without question. So a lot of times we're still believing and in the mindset of a person who doesn't have it, or that feels powerless, or thinks that there's some magical mantra you're going to say, or a candle you have to light. You know how those work? The belief behind it. Right? That's how miracles work. If you guys are in my miracle circle, come on over. We just had another miracle happened. Somebody who was just absolutely petrified. It was a health issue. Within the hour, I think it was an hour, 2 at the most, after the miracle session, the student contacted me and said, miracle number 1, everything's okay. My mother got released out of the facility that she was going to be held in. They were in fear. I said, you got to step out of fear. Step out of the fear. Everything's going to be okay. And if you know that, you create it. And then if anything else happens, you roll with that too because you know something else big is coming. Why? Because the ego wants to control how and why and when. If you let go of that, you know that the universe has your directive, if you're giving it that directive of a certain thing that you desire that doesn't infringe on other people's free will. It will continually work on it, and then it'll show up. You got to let it go. And you go into that high space, and then your reality is going to shift. And I'm going to tell you what's happening right now. Woo-wee! I've got some really great videos coming out. We have doctors, scientists. We have people in all kinds of industries, in high-level positions, even in our governments, that are shifting over to light and talking freely about it without fear. And the more of us that do that, the more we shift into that world, because why should we be afraid? Because for speaking up about what? Doing something that's healthy for us? Because we no longer want to operate under density. And so the only way we can do that is if we choose light and we go out of fear and we start making individual choices for ourselves and say, I don't want to do this. And if there are consequences to that in the material world that are unpleasant, we have to be the peaceful, and I don't even like to say warriors, change makers that make that change happen. Because the more people that do that, peaceful solutions, finding the higher way, the light, no blame, taking charge, the planet is shifting. What are you putting out? Are you still angry? Are you still blaming? Are you still saying, this shouldn't be happening? We did it. It's like banging your head on the wall and going, I have a bruise, and bang, bang, bang. I have a bruise, bang, bang. Shut your pie hole, right? This is another spiritual butt kick. They're all spiritual butt kicks. My book's going to be coming out soon. I'm going to talk about everything in there, everything. And I take it to a level that I know you understand, but maybe you're not talking about it, and that is everything's just one thing happening, and you alone get to experience a creation of individualism that is so unique. Play it well, my friend. And so anything you think, believe, or do will accelerate, because the light, those who are going into the higher frequencies, are going to create what I called, and it's in my book, I call it the tipping point. We're going to a tipping point. So, right, when something's dripping, water's dripping, 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 dripping on something, when it hits that tipping point, it goes poof. So that's the acceleration of the energy of we're tipping it, the scales over to something so massively huge. If you are not participating in that, you will see the other side in a much bigger, denser, darker way. Get out of this limitation that you are different, you're not good, you'll create it, it's going to accelerate. You're going to see. Those who have, let's talk about that, right? Those who have shall receive more. Those who have not shall lose what they already have. That's not fair. Oh, yes, it is, because you're dictating that. I have. Not that I have and I want that. No, I have health. I have beautiful things. I have amazing friends. I have food on my table. I have. And the message, the directive to the universe is, I have. So it says, okay. And it gives you more. That's how it works. And those, I don't have anything. I'm broke. And the universe says, okay. It's not judging. It just, here's your directive. So those who believe that they don't have, they're believing that they don't have, are creating now, and it's going to accelerate more that they don't have. Because that energy is getting more powerful. All right, the split's happening. We're in for an amazing new year, 2022. It is going to be amazing. You're going to see stuff in every industry, people speaking out and showing us a new way, and people are going to do it. And they're going to give up all the stuff that's not good for them. And how did we ever allow chemicals into our homes, into our bodies? Yet we go out there and we continue to buy it. Even at Christmas time, how many toys did you buy your kid that's going to end up, in plastic in a dump somewhere to destroy their future? And we're making those decisions. We have to take responsibility. It's not an easy one, but the alternatives are so amazing and the solutions are unbelievable. And you guys have seen this. We're creating online businesses. We're introducing sustainable, vegan, no animal testing, no chemicals, non-toxic. Tons of those materials, products, and very positive services coming out that are going to change our world. And people are saying, I'm afraid of what somebody tells me I have to do. Well, then take charge and control your future. I did. 7 years ago, I said no to the financial industry. I was an investment banker for 20 years, and I said, this is not right. And here I was in the spiritual space, and we do that. We're over here doing all this stuff that just feels bad, and we're trying to elevate our frequency, and the two are in conflict. It's one thing now. We understand that everything has to be in alignment with your frequency, and you will see the response is going to be so amazing for you. All of a sudden, I have. All right, you tell me I have to do something, I might lose my job. All right, here are my options. Oh, you're not going to accept my option, my decision? Well, this is my decision. What are my options over here? I don't have to rely on somebody else. I can create my own options. Maybe it's time for me to do that. And maybe the universe is opening up for us to make different decisions. And choice and freedom is one of the most important things for all of us. Not to judge somebody else's choice, but to have your own and respect other people. We are one energy field. Everything is of the one, and it comes from light. And everything else is what it experiences to know that light. And you get to choose. I promise you, the results will be so amazing. Don't try to project what that is. Just know that whatever you're putting out, that you're receiving, and that reality will be yours alone. And those in the same frequency will share it with you. And that's how the collective works. So get ready. Energetic shift happening this month, December 22nd. I'm not going to go into details, but let's just say that something beautiful is happening, and we're facilitating that. All of us. No more criticisms, no more backhanded comments. You don't have to make somebody wrong to be right. Just state your opinion, it's okay. No more anger or blame or pointing fingers or judgment. Let's just all get along. That one that you're looking at is you. Come on over to Manifest Anything. It's free. It's free. And then you can join the Miracle Circle. It's $29.95. We do live sessions every month, plus you get some trainings and a recorded session and a meditation produced by me with music that you can watch over and over again, and it's part of the Miracle Circle, and you can place any request in there. And we go into light every month, and we keep the light out there, and we're making a difference. Do you want to join? Come on over. It's a new world. It's happening. If you're not feeling that, then ask yourself why not. Because you alone can change it. Because you're perfect. Please subscribe and share these messages. The more people that know that they're not alone, that we are making a difference, and that we will see beautiful things happening. They need to know this. Share these videos. You are whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Namaste.